Kia ora, I'm called Kiri Gilbert Tukuingoa. You can find me just on Facebook under my name, Kiri Gilbert, and yeah, I've just been posting videos and my music up on there. And I have a Spotify song coming out. I'll keep you on the loop on my page.
You have been an artist for how long?
20 years, but I've played my whole life. So an artist my whole life to me. But really diving deep into it in the last 2 years, just I've changed the style of my music.
And what inspired you to start playing? What instrument do you play? What does it mean to you? How did you start playing it? Who taught you?
So teaching, there would be my mother, my father, both sides of the family. My mum's side, they're all musicians. My dad's side is all musicians. So there was always an instrument around the house. There was always like a guitar, ukulele, flute, a saxophone, but I wasn't allowed to play that. It was locked in the cupboard, so yeah, sadly I didn't get to play that.
That's sax, bro.
That's sax.
With musical progression, there's my best mate is a guitarist for many, many years, and he can't express himself too well in words, but he can make you feel certain emotions with the way he plays his guitar. So I was wondering about that in terms of your lyrics and your guitar. What is it that's really portraying the emotion more?
That I'm not a good conversator and that type of person, or expressing myself through verbal conversation. Like your mate, everything comes through me when I'm singing. And that's when time stops for me, and that's when I can just let everything out and say what I've got to say, and people feel what I'm feeling. It could be happy, it could be sad, it could be a new journey, an old journey, but that's probably the closest way that someone will get to experience closely what I feel and who I naturally am.
I remember when my first job, my mother would not let me get a job bagging groceries. She said it was beneath me. So instead I wrote and directed and produced a play on Waiheke Island at Artworks Theatre to raise enough money for myself to go to university. And after the play, certain people came to me and said that during it they had cried. And just recently I've come to this realization about the point of artism and the concept of being able to get adequate feedback is whether or not you made somebody feel something. They didn't choose to feel it, they were made to feel it. And you can see it in their reactions. It's not the compliments that they give you, not necessarily the stories they tell you, but you can see them either laugh or cry, or maybe in the case of horror movies, jump scare. So do you see those physical reactions in your audience? What do you see?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll tell you one thing, because my style has changed. So, for example, my old stuff that I make my songs up about were about, you know, the classics, the girls, drink, partying. And yes, I got reactions like, you can sing, oh, that song, blah, blah, blah. But the tide changed when my mother died, and I delved deep, way more into my spiritual self. And the music I have now, the people I get coming up, they're crying, they got tears, or they can connect to something I said in a lyric. Those type of things, an emotion that actually they can feel that connection when I'm singing. It's like a magnet, if that makes sense, and I'm pulling something out of them to make them come to the forefront, their feeling. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of people saying after hearing some of my songs, they want to work on themselves and go home and try and make something better, or just, yeah, it's awesome.
My friend Dante does a certain type of massage, and sometimes when people get these big wounds, scar tissue forms over the wound, and that scar tissue is there to hold it in place and prevent it from further damage. And our emotions do the same kind of thing. And in order to get somebody healed, he has to physically go in and break up that scar tissue in order to send it away so that the healing can actually truly begin. And psychologically, emotionally, is that not what you're doing as a singer? You're trying to break up the scar tissue within people, the stuff that has covered up the things that they haven't allowed themselves to feel, breaking it up so that they can heal again. You're welcome.
That's how you put it. And you're definitely right. And like the songs I make up are for the people, but it's definitely and also for myself, to break up my scar tissue and heal myself. So a lot of the songs that I write to whānau out there who's doing it hard and blah blah blah, but it's also for myself as a reminder and as a boot up the arse to keep walking the journey and stay on track and don't go weaving off into all these distractions and things like that, because my own goal is I want to be at peace and just pure happiness, you know, just in that space of dropping everything and letting everything go.
When people are in a dark place, that is what they need. I frequently, people, well, maybe not frequently as such, because it's a very personal thing, but sometimes I'll bump into a listener of my show and they will tell me that they were going to commit suicide until they heard my show. And it reminds me of something the comedian Steve Hughes said about when he was really feeling depressed, and he read this book about a guy who was a quadruple amputee, no arms, no legs, and he surfs around the world. Right? He goes to places and he surfs there. And he's like, man, what have I got to complain about? And the concept is this, that if you can experience something vicariously that's much, much worse than what you're currently going through, it makes you more grateful for your current situation. And I think the reason why my show does that for people is because they will see and hear things on that show that are much, much worse than their miserable lives. In particular, my jokes.
I love your jokes, bro. And I love your laugh too.
The rasping cackle. So when you got off stage here, there's certain types of audiences that you'll play through in your career, different vibes and things of that nature. There's some vibes are very comfortable, some are very uplifting, some are totally energetic, some maybe are not quite so positive. What do you feel? Just pretend that you were just coming off stage again. What was that vibe that you were feeling? What was it that you were thinking? What was it that was going through your mind and body?
Going through my mind and body as soon as I jumped off stage was just unreal. Being on stage was unreal. Half of my set was acoustic and nice messages and nice tunes and just a nice acoustic guitar, which had the crowd just swaying and just feeling it, you know, just feeling it. And then the second half of my performance was, we're gonna party now. I pulled my looper out, hit it, boom, and then it was just cool seeing everyone just get up, feel the electricity in their body, getting up, rising up, and then just moving. And then got off stage, and then just people coming up to me and just telling me how a song struck a chord in them. It made them cry, and so different songs had a different feeling for different people. It's just beautiful that I know that people are listening and they're feeling and taking it in. And most of my messages are, you don't have to carry all that baggage around, you can let it go. Yeah, it's just, I'll leave it at beautiful, bro. Oh, I love it, eh? I love it.
Yeah, I remember last night I was talking with Dante, and did you see DJ Morpho?
Yeah, she's mean.
Mean isn't the word.
Yeah.
Dante used the word great, and I said, that's still not the right word. And so he goes, it's wonderful. No, not wonderful, that's still not the right word. And I went, magnificent.
Magnificent.
And Dante's like, no, it's still not the right word. And I'm like, enthralling.
Oh,
it was an all-encompassing flow that just washed you away. That was what her performance was like, right?
I reckon that, bro, but like the sound, the music, but her herself. You know, you can have someone just pushing buttons, but you've got her up there with all this energy, a little small lady, and she's got her arms out like an eagle, and she's just going boom, boom, boom. You know, on the pump up too.
That's a great impression.
It is.
Oh man. And, have you been hanging out with any of the other artists, watching any of their works? Lucy Gallant, her choruses I found were transformational. Like really, really powerful.
Yeah, I love the music. I love the last song she sang. There was one, then comes two, then three, and then 1,000. Like, she's got some really catchy choruses.
Yeah.
And she really knows how to bring in the crowd too to call a response. Also, the brother Ash, another looper, with all his soundscape. How do you even do that? You know?
Well, I interviewed him, and I noticed that he had 2 different foot pedal displays, and there's maybe like 4 to 6 different configurations on them, so he could create maybe 10 different loops using either his voice to do that of the cymbal or play a guitar loop, and one to filter them all and make everything there. So it's a significantly technical thing that he was doing, and he's been doing it for like 20 years. So you know how like over time you learn new skills,
it becomes nature too.
New technology, you start practicing it and utilizing it. You just have to put in the work if you want to do things and grow and change. And it gave me the idea that technology is actually, it's like being able to read.
Yeah.
In the ancient world, if you were illiterate, there were certain things you can't have access to, and I find that a lot of people are now techno-illiterate, where they couldn't force themselves to teach themselves that stuff if they tried.
Yeah, no, I love technology, bro. Just depends how you use it, eh? Like a gun. Gun's good, or it can be good, could be bad. You can use it to good reason to go and shoot a deer or something, you know, or to shoot a person. That's probably that's bad, eh? So it's just depending on how you use.
No, it's not bad, but yes.
Oh, shooting a person's good.
If they're trying to murder you, or
oh yes, sorry,
or your children, or something like that, you know.
Yeah, the defense.
Yeah, it's
the defense.
It's the difference between killing and murder. Murder is taking somebody's life unjustly. Killing is when you're taking somebody's life because they're trying to take yours.
I like the way you put that. Yeah, I enjoyed her, eh? A-class, bro, world class. Beautiful messages, the way she brings the crowd together naturally, without ego. That's what I love about her. It's not a performance, it's just who she is and what she's doing. So I've always got big respects for her. And Luna, she played before me, Luna, and beautiful voice, sounds like an angel. If I was to go to heaven, that will be the voice I want to listen to as well.
Yeah. And what about Pack Animals?
Oh, Pack Animals, damn, how could I forget them? They're mean, bro. Well, not mean, what's the next level from mean?
Magnificent.
Magnificent, awesome, magnificent, awesome, unreal.
Yeah.
They're mean, bro. Again, know how to bring a crowd together, get them jumping. There was one song I loved of theirs. It was the last song with Joyda. I think it was their original song. And I think I just liked it because it had a good beat, good groove, good melody that they were mentioning about bringing the light workers out or something like that that really resonated with me. So I kind of took that as, you know, bring the light workers out. People like us, you know, you're one because you've got the camera.
That has a light on it.
There's a light on it. You're a light worker. But you're definitely a light worker, bro, because you're not the cliche-ish interviewer who holds a notepad and says, ask a question directly from there. You actually listen to me and then you reply to me. I love that, bro. But yeah, Pack Animals, unreal, they were me.
Okay, so with the Restival all done, I was talking to this lady and she was saying it's time to say bye, and she doesn't want to say bye. And what I do at festivals is I call it the golden time capsule. You remember one thing, maybe one thing, very specifically, and there could be two words that associate that thing with it. You identify that thing, you think about the memories that are associated with it, and you tie it down to two words. And every time you repeat those two words to yourself silently or out loud, the feeling that you had at that time, that feeling of love and togetherness and support and guardianship and stewardship and responsibility and caring that everybody here has in concert become a impromptu tribe, as it were. That feeling can still exist for everybody long after they're here, so long as they create a golden bowl of it in their heart and store it away for when they need it.
Bro, you're hitting me. I love those.
What would your golden moments be?
My golden moments, yeah, I was reflecting on when you mentioned it, I thought it was the sauna. But when I'm thinking about the moments, it was good for me, but I'm thinking about it now, it's probably the campground. Yeah, because like it's been raining the whole time I've been here, been pissing down. So I would say the campground. And why? Two attachment memories to that would be, I've met a good mate, we call him the wood chopper. He's the custodian up at the campground. And I've made a really good friendship with him. We wake up in the mornings, or he wakes up before me, he starts the fire and I just go there, chop some wood up to help him out. And that's really a memory, just because we're out of reception, we're just doing productive shit, waking up and actually doing something to help the camping community, you know, that was one. And just meeting everybody here, bumping into like-minded people and people on journeys who are just started, who have been on their journeys for like 20 years or blah blah blah, and just soaking in all that knowledge, wisdom and teachings, so I can carry with me back home and keep practicing everything that I've learned here. And just remembering all these people, it's just love, eh, bro? You know, it's just a big golden bowl of love here, where everything's accepted, you know. And the thing for me too is, you just know when you look into somebody's eyes, and then you can kind of like, you can see their soul, the driver behind the eyes. And that's another thing, because you can do that here, where out there in society you can't. It's quite intrusive or intimidating if you look at someone, oh, my hometown, if you look someone in the eyes. So being here and looking at people in the eyes, you're seeing their soul, you're actually engaged and present with them. So I think that would probably be the second thing for me, and other various things.
It's an experience that is free from the pretentiousness of the pretend lives and the pretend self-image that people have. The people here have accepted who they are, good or bad, and accepted that they must do the work.
That's it.
And that's the thing, all these people are working on themselves. And so many other people, they lose themselves to vain entertainment and ostensibly simply wasting their time while they're here on this planet, when they could be creating things that make the world a better place. And you don't get any of that here. Everybody, even if they're bristly with you, you still know that they're still on that playing field. They know what they're doing.
It's hard. And it's definitely hard watching your loved ones and your community still stuck on that plane, and they just don't know. So that's why it's our job to do what we do best, you know, singing, art, cameraman, you know, all of these things help. And this is our job to help wake up our communities, whānau and the world.
All right, and just to end off, give us your name again very clearly and where people can find your work.
So my name is Kiri Gilbert, and you can find me just on Facebook, Kiri Gilbert.